house isn't worth that, but the house across the street sold for way more. We're going to talk about that today. If we haven't had a chance to connect yet, hi, my name is Caitlin Henderson. I'm a realtor with Parks Lakeside in the Middle Tennessee area, and I'm on a mission to empower home buyers and sellers to navigate the changing market. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't have to miss anything. Stay tuned for more tips, advice, tricks, and market trends as they come. So one of my clients earlier this year was in the heat of the market. And when I tell you, let me just paint a picture for you. We would go to homes that would allow overlapping showings, not open houses, that's different. Kid you not, there were over 40 people in the homes that we were looking at. I would have filmed them all, but for the sake of honoring people's privacy, I took a video of their feet and ended up making an Instagram reel out of just the craziness of what we were experiencing because it was just so unbelievable. Homes used to, in the past, sit on the market for weeks or months at a time, and that has not been the case, as I'm sure you've seen. Average days on market was under 7 days in the Middle Tennessee area last year in 2021. Now we're starting to see a pivot. But one of my clients in particular, earlier this year, in the heat of the market, when we were navigating her home search and seeing people in all these different homes, the competition was high, and we were submitting offers, strong offers, and we just kept getting outbid. And it wasn't because she didn't have a strong offer, but there were so many. One of them we were up against had a total of 55 offers on the same home. It was on the market a day. They had 3 days that they were on the market, and they said that was the deadline to get offers in. 55. We weren't chosen. The next home we went to that checked all her boxes, she was so thrilled, submitted an offer. We came in second out of 15 offers. She decided to completely pivot, and this is something I try to talk to most of my buyers about, is being open-minded to finding the right one that you can still afford, that you're not gonna wrestle with that buyer's remorse. She ended up completely changing what she was looking for because she was tired of dancing at the top of her pre-approval. So she found something a little lower. She was able to bid higher as far as purchase price. She was able to waive a couple more contingencies because of the price point change. Well, here's the thing. She won that offer. We went through inspections, got her closed, moved in, all great. Well, unforeseen circumstances happened, and all of a sudden she had to move out of state. And she called me to list this home she had literally just purchased with me a few months prior. If I had known that that was even on the table, just a little shameless disclaimer, I would not have encouraged her to buy if I knew that that was on the table. But it's all good things, all positive things, but she didn't see it coming. Opportunity came for her to relocate. And she called me to list this home that we had just closed on a few months ago. I went through all her options with her. I talked to her about the value of putting a renter in that home. And even if that was too much to handle, just management-wise, when you've got other things you're focusing on, I talked to her about a property management company that could handle it for her for a fee and a percentage. And she said, nope, absolutely, I want to sell. And I said, okay. And we had to have a consultation, and I said, here's the thing. I said, you remember what it was like when you were a buyer a couple months ago? She said, yeah. I said, well, here's the thing. I said, the market has already shifted. We're not in that anymore. So we had to have the conversation of, hey, the day we hit the market, I need you to know nothing is wrong with your house. Nothing is wrong with our strategy. But I need you to know you're not going to have 50 people in and out of your home, and that's fine because we're going back to normal. I said, and second expectation, if we're not under contract within 3 days with someone that wants to move forward with purchasing it, that's okay too, because the average days on market has started increasing. It was in the single digits for a long time. Now we're starting to see it dance closer to the 27-day mark. 14 to 27, depending on where in Nashville you are. Thankfully, we had those conversations before we went on the market, but the biggest thing that hurt was the price point. And that's something that's so easy when it comes to wondering, what is my home worth? You hear about a home that sold across the street for an unfathomable number in the last year or two, and you think, hey, why won't mine sell for that? The market's different. Don't misunderstand me. Home prices are not reversing. They were going up at such a rapid, unsustainable pace. Now they're starting to plateau a little bit. Now, if you're like me and you get a bunch of emails about listings on the market with price reductions, or sorry, price improvements, as agents like to refer to it, it doesn't mean the home is decreasing in value. It means that sellers that were doing an aggressive pricing strategy in the beginning have recognized, we can't get buyers in the door to look at our house at that price point. We need to dial it back a little bit more. And so that's why we're seeing a lot of the numbers changing as far as the reductions. The home value is not decreasing, but sellers can't price as aggressively as they were before. So when you're comparing your home price or what you're thinking about pricing your home at with homes that have already sold, that's actually a lagging metric. Yes, it's still valuable with figuring out comps to see about where yours would land, but it's also important that we look at the leading metrics, not just the lagging metrics. So what's a leading metric? Leading metrics are things like I mentioned that I disclosed with my seller. What do showings look like in the market? So for example, I went to show a home last weekend. It was the first day on the market. The last year and a half, if I showed up the day something went on the market, I promise you at the least, an agent would be leaving as I arrived, and another one would be sitting there knocking on the door waiting for us to hurry up and leave with my buyers. I pulled up to this home, and this has been happening in the last few weeks. I'll show up, it's the first day on the market, and we're the only ones here. And then I'll go into a tracking metric that I have access to and discover, oh, they only have 3 showings today. What? But that would be a clear sign indicator of the fact that we are in a shift. That, and also how long the average days on market are. Again, buyers recently have been freezing after being in this aggressive, high pressure, high stress, cutthroat, backstabbing, bidding war packed market. And all of a sudden, there's a lot of clickbaity fear circling all the social channels. And all of a sudden they're like, maybe I'm going to hold off. Maybe I'm going to rent one more year. I'm going to wait and see if the housing prices drop. I'm going to wait to see until they all go into foreclosures. That's my favorite one because it's not going to happen, friends. I'm sorry. Whole other video topic for a whole other time. But looking at the showing times, looking at how many days on market we're seeing before they're under contract, these kind of things can help us project what to expect when you're looking at selling your home, not just what Joe Schmo down the road sold for last year. So I want to know, what are you seeing where you're from? Are you seeing it still be aggressive as far as the price point? Are you seeing a slowdown? I want to hear from your neck of the woods. Let me know in the comments below. What are you seeing? And what questions do you have? If anything was helpful in this video, I'd love to know. But if I didn't answer any question that you were just dying to ask, let me know, and I would be happy to help in any way that I can. And hey, if you're wondering what a potential home sale or purchase looks like for you in the next year, I will put a link to my scheduling availability below just to make it even easier. And if we're not connected on the gram yet, you can follow me at Caitlin Henderson Realtor, where I post a lot more lighthearted tips and tricks and insights and real stories day in the life of what it's like being in real estate in the Middle Tennessee area. Make sure to stay tuned so you don't miss out on other videos like this. We'll talk later.